What ammo for Roe? Fresh from his trip to Sako in Finland, Paul is in Hampshire for a pre- and post-rut field test.
It's flat shooting, it's not punchy, and it's trendy.
You're about the labels.
And what happens when a Facebook foxing group swaps rifles for shotguns to go partridge shooting? I'm in Derbyshire to find out. We have news, we have hunting YouTube. Welcome to Fieldsports Britain. Paul has returned from the Sako ammunition factory in Finland with an A-star in bulletology. No longer will he choose a round because it's pretty or comes in a box that matches the colour of his beautiful, piercing, greeny, bluey, browny, hazily eyes. No, steady. No, he is now selective, decisive, and this evening he's going to be using the Sako Gamehead Pro on a row.
I haven't always considered it, to be honest with you. I find a bullet that I like with the rifle, suits the rifle, groups well, and you go hunting, get good results. You don't think about, well, I don't personally think about, or haven't in the past, thinking about close quarter shooting, short distance to mid-range and long distance. They'll all do the job, but if you're doing a lot of close quarter row calling close in close woodland, then you go for the super hammerhead. But if you're shooting long distance across fields, you're doing the mid to longer distance, you use Gamehead Pro, just so you've got expansion and do the job efficiently.
Okay, so it begs the question, what are you using tonight?
Like Gamehead Pro tonight, I like to stalk in and get close to animals. That's the whole point of stalking. But I do like to have that confidence of shooting a longer distance.
Well, I mean, I've had one come into the squeak.
Oh, right.
Paul is being guided by his friend Christian, a mad, keen stalker. He has invited Paul onto his ground and we're going to cover a lot of it tonight. It's mid-July, the row rut is about to get underway, so we're pushing it to try and get a response. Paul has a new call, which looks like a stumpy yellow clarinet. Like all new musical instruments, it needs practice for the best results.
Not very consistent with it. Yeah, we're early season for the rut, but I spoke to a few people. I spoke to my dad as well. He got one coming in the backfield, back of his house, and that was like a middle-aged buck, and that was doing all the signs the last 2 days, so Christian's been seeing one or two, so yeah, get a bit of early action maybe. But.
Now, Paul's using a Sako 85 Finlight 2, which he christened a few days ago. This is now his third rifle in 6.5 Creedmoor, the kind of calibre some say people choose because it goes with the colour of their eyes. So, what's the attraction?
It's flat shooting, it's not punchy, and it's trendy.
You're about the labels, children.
Yeah, no, at all. My rifle shooting career, we should call it, I've always liked the lighter calibers, faster bullets, accurate. I've never been a big person on doing the dialing out to distance, because when you've got a 22 to 50, you're on at 100, you're on at 250, you don't think about it, you just put it on there, hold steady and shoot it. So for me, it's a fantastic round. Say no more.
After multiple stands, the guys spot an older buck across a couple of fields.
It looks to me like a nice big old buck, but he's got a bit of a messy back end, so I don't know whether it's because he's been eating the maize and it's full of nitrogen and a bit too rich for him, or what, I don't know, but Another one. Looking.
Is that one of the best responses you've ever had, Christian?
Yeah, it's pretty good, that. I'm pleased with that.
Actually, he's coming, isn't it?
Give another squeak, keep his interest.
The call generates interest, but it's more of a shuffle than a sprint.
Classic early rut, this is. Use all your skills to try and lure them in.
Yeah, very tentative, isn't he? It'll be interesting to see whether he comes down
I don't think
straight through the...
he won't come through the fence, will he? Because what's this fence? Is it?
Eventually, it disappears into a ditch, never to resurface. There is a plan B, and a set of ears appear above the crop. That animal's attention, however, is focused on a doe to our right. Paul waits for the buck to clear the crop.
Okay, David? I'll shoot him, yeah? When he comes out further. Oh.
One more step and he was ours. Never mind. There's always tomorrow morning.
I come out to enjoy the ambience.
So you're going to wait for the last minute this time, or are you going to be a bit more
I'm going
on
to
it?
take my time like I always do, David. I'm never going to live that one down, am I?
Not really. I know it was just for the camera. It's one more step, wasn't it?
One more step just to get the perfect, bring it in close enough so you could focus on it. And yeah, I haven't cried much.
There's a chance of an early fox, but that one's on its way. We return to the site of where most of the promising action took place yesterday, but again, nothing. We do have a standoff with this young chap, reminding us that when the crops are up and grass is high, roe are even more challenging.
Weather's changed, and this morning it was quite a little bit windy, but it's quite humid. It's like, I don't know, 15 degrees, 16 degrees, and so muggy, perfect. We saw a couple start with down a buck, and then we saw a buck literally 30 yards away. But now it's just turned that horrible wet rain, which is perfect for game crops, but I don't think it's good for this job. So the pressure's on now. It's gone from like, but you never know.
The best response is from a doe and a kid, a sight you never tire of. The morning is another no-show, and Christian is feeling the pressure.
That's stalk, isn't it?
Yeah.
And to be honest with you, we see deer here, you see, see signs. This morning we saw 2 bucks, 3 does and a fawn. And again, unfortunately, crops are up. And like I say, it was early rut, so it's just started into a little bit of action yesterday, as you saw. And but it's been a good morning. Yes, I could have shot that younger buck, as I've been told many times, but it wasn't perfect. So yeah, it's been great. Pressure's on, always on the site the person invites you. Apologised about 400 times, but I do this all the time, so you're used to the results. Roebuck, aren't they? That's why we love them.
Disappointing.
As there's unresolved business in Hampshire, Paul and Christian arrange to hook up again, not as you might think in the full throes of the rut, but a few weeks after. Busy people. At least we can see what's going on now.
People look forward to this time of year and look forward to, seeing what bucks they got and then see what they got in the rut, and yeah, it's great. Good. I just travelled 2 hours to get here, so it must be quite special.
Christian has also been doing a lot of reconnaissance. We follow what is now a familiar route, until eventually we spot this young buck on the field margins.
Yep, see him, David?
Yeah.
Come on, let's go. Sorry, it was here.
Paul takes the shot, but when we get to the shot site, the buck is missing.
There's blood. That's when he fell over. That's long. Okay.
And then where would we go back in?
Straight in here somewhere. Perfect. Perfect, I'd say. 6.5 Creedmoor, the sexiest round on the market. Did the job.
That's the business.
Yeah, isn't it? It's just,
Pure adrenaline, wasn't it?
yeah, he obviously was upcharged,
Yeah.
chopped, he was going to go. And,
About what it was.
yeah.
So, did Paul choose the correct round tonight? Absolutely. A slower, less frangible bullet would have killed it, but we might not have found it.
Beautiful and clean. If that had been a different round, we might not have picked it up at 50, 60 yards in the wood. It might have been,
Still be running.
yeah, still running, or probably maybe 150 yards down the wood. So,
Well,
yeah,
did the
perfect.
job.
Yeah, no, it's great. Thank you. Again.
We got our buck in the end, and we hope we've shown that selecting the right bullet for the job is as important as any other kit you buy to do the job well. For more about Sako's ammunition, go to sako.fi. Thank you, Paul and Christian. We got there in the end. Next up, David is off gallivanting again, which puts Aaron in the hot seat. A hot seat covered in drawing pins. Yes, it's the Fieldsports Channel News Stump.
This is Fieldsports Channel News. The Welsh Government has banned the shooting of birds, including rooks, under the new general licences. Due to come into force on the 7th of October 2019, there are also new restrictions on shooting carrion crows, magpies, jackdaws, jays, Canada geese, collared doves and wood pigeons. You can't shoot rooks, doves or jays to protect crops or livestock in Wales. You can't shoot rooks, carrion crows, collared doves, jackdaws, jays, magpies or wood pigeons for public health. And wild birds can only be protected if they are rare, which includes grouse and grey partridge, but not pheasants or red-leg partridge. Shooting organisations are outraged and working to reverse the decision. A man shooting rats has felt the full force of the law. Will Markham from Coventry has been using an air rifle to shoot rats, which led to armed police surrounding his house. He says he was made to feel like a terrorist. He spent 15 hours in police custody and was released without further action. A fox shooter has shot a spaniel thinking it was a fox. Ruby, a spaniel from the Derbyshire village of Critch, was out with her owner Dom Brown when somebody he describes as a lad with a .410 shotgun and a black Labrador shot Ruby, claiming he mistook her for a fox. A police spokesman said he has been identified but no arrests yet have been made. A TV chef with firearms offences has won his case. William Aldis, known as the Shotgun Chef, was culling deer at Dagenham Park in Essex in November last year to provide venison for the Cart Shed restaurant at his family farm near Epping. A charge of discharging a firearm in a public place was withdrawn at his first court appearance in Barkingside Magistrates Court in February 2019, and the Crown Prosecution Service offered no evidence at his trial at Snaresbrook Crown Court in September on the second charge of possessing a firearm and ammunition in a public place. Do you want to win a rifle? If you use Instagram, you could win a Winchester XPR composite. To enter the draw, all you have to do is write @Winchester Europe in a post on Instagram. Remember, it has to be Instagram. Competition closes on the 30th of September 2019. The Irish correspondent for the Countryman's Weekly is to appear in a BBC documentary about ferreting. BBC Northern Ireland is to put out the programme at 10:30 p.m. on the 30th of September 2019. on Long Netter's work as a rabbit controller in Northern Ireland. And there's a genuine countryman in a TV reality show. Cy Jennings is a farmer who is taking part in Channel 4's The Circle. If you watch it, he has asked us to ask you to please vote for him. Eating meat is a crime against humanity and should be banned, says a top barrister. Michael Mansfield, or nicknamed Moneybags Mansfield for his rich clients, he calls for a new offence of ecocide and adds that eating meat should become illegal. He made his comments at the launch of a vegan campaign at the Labour Party conference. Thanks to Steve Carney for sending in this story. An RSPCA chief has been forced to quit after she was exposed as a vegan extremist. Jane Tredgett, 52, co-founded Animal Rebellion, part of Extinction Rebellion. She is calling for animal rights protesters to shut down London's Smithfield meat market. She has now quit her unpaid post after organising a 2-week protest in central London. Meanwhile, vegan activists in France claim they caused up to €1 million of damage to a chicken farm by burning down unused chicken sheds. And the League Against Cruel Sports is running a Google advertising campaign to try and end pheasant shooting. Finland has released its first batch of wild forest reindeer to one of its national parks. The aim of the reintroduction project is to secure the future of the wild forest reindeer and to help the popular quarry species spread to its former habitat range. Some local hunters are surprised that the Finnish Hunters Association is not financially supporting the project, thanks to viewer Marco for sending in this story. The Norwegian government has turned down plans to hunt wolves with hounds on ideological grounds. This American foxhound cut wolf control in Norway from 3,000 hours to 200 hours, but the Norwegian Environment Ministry has rejected using its puppies for tracking wolves. Thanks to Per Holmseth for sending in this story. The European Commission has asked the European Chemicals Agency to proceed with its proposals to ban all lead ammunition, plus lead shot for fishing. The agency makes a vague claim that the ban would save between 1 and 2 million birds. Hunters and aunties are both angry over a turtle dove shoot in Morocco. Shooters illegally killed 1,500 turtle doves in one day in a shoot outside Marrakesh. This total exceeds by 3 times the hunting quota set by the law. The shoot was organised for tourist hunters from the Gulf countries by a licensed hunting operator, which has now been investigated. Namibia reckons that CITES delegates are no better than poachers. Namibia Minister of Environment and Tourism, Pawamba Shifeta, branded those against conservation hunting as accomplices to poaching. He made the statement whilst discussing Namibia's decision to withdraw from the Convention on International Trade in Endangered Species. CITES recently rejected Namibia's proposal on hunting elephants and rhinos. Trouble in Zambia over cash for hunting tourism. The Zambia National Community Resource Board Association has called for the immediate suspension on hunting until the government releases funds owed to communities. They have received no fees since 2016 and no hunting revenue since 2018. By law, the communities are entitled to 20% of the concession fees and 50% of the hunting revenue. In the USA, TV stars Kim Kardashian and Kanye West are in the media dock for harassing antelope. Kim Kardashian posted an Instagram video at the couple's new ranch in Wyoming, in which Kanye West can be seen driving an ATV into a herd of wild antelope. Kim Kardashian can be heard saying, "I think you're scaring them." Wyoming Game and Fishing Department has paid a visit to the ranch manager to make sure everyone is aware of the rules pertaining to wildlife. A mountain lion has wandered into the family home in California. The animal was caught in the bathroom of the house in the Sierra Nevada foothills, about 50 miles outside Yosemite National Park. The mountain lion banged through the front screen door of the house in Sonora, breezing past the two homes' residents before fully comprehending what it had done, said the sergeant from the county sheriff's office. With the residents' permission, the sheriff's deputies broke the window and worked with the wildlife department to coax the animal out by pounding on the wall to get its attention and shining a light on the window area to show that there was a path to escape. It finally was able to jump out of the window. What is Rambo's favourite hunting bow? Sylvester Stallone's new film Rambo: Last Blood features archery, and the laurels go to Bear Archery. Beating market leader Hoyt, Bear claims that Sly specifically asked for their bow. A FedEx pilot was recently detained in a Chinese airport for the possession of airgun pellets. Chinese authorities in Guangzhou detained and later released the FedEx pilot and former US Air Force Colonel Todd Hon on bail after the pellets were found in his luggage prior to a commercial flight. Better news from China. The hunting area that Charlie visited in June this year are holding their first hunting festival. The Shenxi Oriental Hunting Ground is inviting Chinese and foreign hunters to gather together on the 15th of October 2019 for literally a hunting carnival to welcome in the new season. Prices are on the website below. Charlie went pheasant shooting out there for less than £1,200, including the flights to China. Last weekend saw the final of the Target Sprint 2019. The new sport, which combines airgun accuracy with a running race, was split between the Super League and the British Championship on Saturday and the final of the National Series on Sunday. The competitors run 3 400-metre races and stop twice to hit 5 targets before they can continue. The Target Sprint Super League was shot alongside the National Series on 35mm targets to give more experienced athletes the opportunity to compete in multiple domestic ISSF standard events across the country and accumulate points across the season. Standout performance came from Poppy Clark, who set a new British record to be crowned Junior Female British Champion. On Sunday, a demonstration para-target sprint took place, with wheelchair athletes doing 2 laps of the 400-metre track and shooting 2 sessions. More details and a full list of results at targetsprint.com. Thanks to shareholder Andy McGarty for contributing his footage. Here's Target Sprint's promoter, Gorgs Geeky.
So this is the 4th year that we've had the Target Sprint final. Yes, this is the 3rd time at this venue, which has been fantastic. The first was in Wales, and we're really looking forward to the programme of next year as well. And the final next year is going to be at Bisley in the middle of the Olympic programme, which is very exciting.
A new advert by Danish toy company Lego features hunting, and it hasn't offended anyone. Somehow, Lego has produced an advert where the main narrative is a bow hunter chasing a rabbit around Legoland, and it's neither pro-hunting or anti-hunting. Even the antis aren't too upset. And finally, the winners of the greatest Photoshop battles ever features quite a lot of wildlife photography. Held by the Quick Turtles Facebook page, the competition shows off the talent people can show while mucking about on a popular photo editing program. A Photoshop battle is where the internet netizens come together to make hilarious an already viral photo. So if you don't know, now you know. You are now up to date with Fieldsports Channel News, brought to you by you, the Fieldsports Nation. Stalking the stories, fishing for facts.
Thank you, Aaron. Truly dreadful news from Wales there. Better news from Winchester, and if you want to enter that draw to win a rifle, pop at Winchester Europe into a post on Instagram and they'll stick you in it to win it. And if you want to keep up with news from our Fieldsports News Service, go along to our website. There's a link in the description below. Now, many of you in Britain and some in Europe will have been enjoying the partridge shooting season, which started on the 1st of September. And among you are members of the Fox Stoppers UK Facebook group. Fox shooters are nocturnal. Their prey is cunning, stationary, and they have the kit to shoot it. Partridge shooters are diurnal. They use shotguns and their quarry is fast-moving and comparatively dim. Here's what happens when a team of fox shooters goes partridge shooting.
I don't know, a completely different ball game, isn't it? Shooting a static target compared to shooting these flying birds, but I think most of us have shot game before, so we know what to expect.
You haven't seen anybody fitting thermal to their shotguns, have you?
No. I did think about bringing the thermal spotter to spot for Phil in front of him now, but a bit extreme.
The guns on this Derbyshire shoot on the edge of the Peak District between Chesterfield and Buxton are all here from the Fox Stoppers UK group on Facebook, which started small.
There was 6 lads that got a sort of little chat group on Facebook Messenger going between us, and we must have been going for like 6 months chatting away on there most nights. And then sort of Matt Munro actually thought, why don't we start our own foxing page and let's sort of, you know, try and get a good bunch of lads together. And from sort of there, it sort of, you know, it grew day by day, and sort of, you know, we're sort of, you know, well over 4,000 members, which is fantastic, and it's great to see some members out with us today as well.
Initially it was very small when I first joined it. It hadn't long been running. It was instantly, everybody was really easy going. There was, or still is, some really knowledgeable guys there that if anybody's got an issue, you can put a post on with whatever the problem might be, and there'll be somebody there that knows a lot more than you do that can point you in the right direction.
We start our shoot day with a minute's silence for a beater and picker-upper, Steve Birkinshaw, who was in his 80s and died recently of cancer. That over, shoot owner Steve Coop gives the team talk to the guns. He puts down 2,000 pheasants and 1,700 partridges on 350 acres.
100 bird days. We don't want no more, you know what I mean? I run 8 days for a syndicate, and then I sell 8 days. We have a good beaters day and probably clean up day at the end. And it all started 28 years ago. When average bag were about 4 pheasants, 2 foxes and a partridge, and we've gone to, last year we shot 1,300 head. Roughly 650 pheasant, 650 partridges. Yeah. And it's just a good fun day out, that's all it is, you know what I mean?
The day was fixed by Fox Stoppers member Chris Daw. He's impressed by how far members of the group have travelled.
Some from Scotland, Dorset, Devon, Birmingham, all over the place really, so we needed an activity. Last year we met up and went clay shooting, so we thought we'd find a nice driven shoot somewhere that wasn't too expensive. I actually used to shoot down in the valley here when I was a teenager, so I know the area. So
this is where you shot your first pheasant?
It is, yeah. 1999 according to the game book that the keepers showed us this morning. The shoot wasn't on such a grand scale then, it was just a farmer's shoot, putting 300 birds down, DIY, and my dad used to be a syndicate member. Used to stand in front of him and miss him, and he'd wipe my eye behind me, and there's a good crack. There's a good team of guys, so hopefully we'll have a good day.
The partridges come at you like bullets. On a shoot like this, there are always going to be casualties. So you didn't quite get that one, did you?
No, I might have plucked a couple of feathers out of its arse, but that was about it really, Charlie, unfortunately.
But you did.
Yeah, I was wiping Mr. Taylor's eyes for him there, so yeah.
That's founder of the group, Phil Taylor, who is this week's turnip, while Scottish member Matt Munro, who has come all the way from Aberdeenshire for the day, is top banana. One of the best partridge shots here today is Mark Lewis, who is here from Wales.
We've all got together over the last couple of years, and we've all become good friends, and we try and get out regular, so it's really good. It's nice to get out and do something different, to be fair, because most of us are always fox shooting, so this is just something totally different, so it's great to all get together and have a bit of a banter and a few beers afterwards, so yeah, it's brilliant. It's one of the best things that Facebook has ever done, to be fair, is bring everybody together.
However, Facebook is not always the shooter's friend at the moment.
It's awkward really these days, because obviously there's no gun sales, there's no ammunition sales, but scopes and that have always been fine. They seem to be taking scopes down now, Facebook, which is, you know, unfortunate. I suppose, yes, it is part of the gun, but it's, you know, a scope you don't need to have a license to buy or anything. You know, it's a shame, you know, if the hunting fraternity and shooting fraternity goes from Facebook, you know, they're going to lose a hell of a lot of members, sort of thing, which, you know, I mean, it's crazy really.
Now you may think it's all about the partridges, but make no mistake, the fox tally for the year is the big competition here. Adam Fuchs is a shepherd on a Dorset farm.
I shot my 60th on Thursday night. Yeah, everybody keeps it fairly close to their chest until we get near Christmas time, and then a bit of banter starts around it all, so it can be quite make it quite interesting towards the end for sure.
The bag in the end is 62 and everyone goes home happy. Fox Stoppers UK is a closed group on Facebook. If you want to apply to join, you will find the link in this film's description. I really enjoyed that. Thanks to all the Fox Stoppers UKs for having me along. Now from Derbyshire to the wider world of hunting and shooting on YouTube, it is Hunting YouTube. This is Hunting YouTube, which aims to show the best hunting and shooting videos that YouTube has to offer. Tommy from Rural Pest Control Whitwell in the north of England has a new Rimmy rabbit shooting film out, including a generous plug for the Fieldsports Nation. Thanks, Tommy. He's busy getting on top of rabbit numbers in a sheep field and horse paddocks with Browning T-bolt and night-sight wolf. Chris Abbott takes on a 24-hour challenge to stalk a Roebuck, fish a trout and shoot a brace of pigeons at Higham Lakes in the UK with Andrew Cannon. The film is on the channel of UK gun shooting kit distributor Viking. Good to see them feel the power of YouTube. God, I sound like Darth Vader. Feral Pigeon Pest Control leads the new episode of one of my favourites, The Catapult Show with Gamekeeper John, plus reviews. It's the art of the mooch. Staying on slingshots, the Moocher's Guide channel has put out Rabbit Catch and Cook Catapult Hunting. This is a day spent living off the land. A run of wild boar and feral hogs now. Hunting with Stu from Australia puts out hunting pigs and a bit of fishing out western New South Wales. He's shooting with iron sights on foot and from a quad. Our Scandinavian correspondent Per Holmseth is keen on the Cap and Ball channel, which takes ancient firearms out hunting. This is a new film about hunting wild boar with a 19th century 11x60R Sauer and Zahn Kiplauf rifle, also open sights. There's another entrant to the regiment of Turkish wild boar hunting YouTubers, and this one has a drone. Yaman Avcinin Postazi, forgive the pronunciation, captures the action of driven hunts from the air. And finally, it's not shooting, but it is countryside, thanks to Wendy Allen, who sends in a new YouTube take on One Man and His Dog. It's a sheep-dog trial film series on YouTube called Away with Dogs, and Series 2 is underway, starting in Denbighshire in August, and a new show out every 2 weeks. That's it for this week. I've put all these films into a playlist for you. Click on the I symbol top right or check this film's description. If you have a YouTube film you would like us to pop into the weekly top 8, email me the link, charlie@fieldsportschannel.tv. Well, that's it for this week. If you haven't done so already, please pop along to our website. There's a link to it in the description below. You can click there to like us on Facebook and on Instagram. You can follow us on Twitter. You can subscribe to us on YouTube. And you can, of course, pop your email address into our register page and we'll send you our weekly newsletter about this show. Or you can back us and get our newsletter from behind the scenes. If you want to do that, go to, well, the links below, fchannel/FieldsportsNation, fieldsportschannel.tv/FieldsportsNation. And I'll see you next week. Good hunting, good shooting, good fishing, and goodbye.